Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new module or series of lecture on element of structural analysis. The first module of this series of lecture is an introductory discussion. This is part 1, wherein we will try to discuss on the basic definitions of the structural analysis. Man has been a keen observer of the natural examples of the structure. These natural examples he wanted to replicate while constructing his different structural element in his daily life. But the confident use of the structure needs the formal knowledge of structural analysis so that we can make the structure safe against different loading condition, being it due to the self-weight of the structure or due to some natural loads. First thing that we have to know is the definition. What is structure? It can be defined likewise. A structure is a physical element which is constructed for a specific designated purpose and it is capable to withstand the load coming on it and transfer it safely to the supporting medium. Now let us come to the explanation. It is a physical element. That means it is not at all an imagination or any generic thing. It is possible to touch and feel and can be possible to be used is known as a structure. It is constructed for a specific designated purpose wherein we can see it can be made for residence purpose as it case of building or any institutional structure like this, or can be used for connecting two parts of the country via a bridge or viaduct, or a chimney which is used for exhaust purpose to throw out the foul gases within the ambient air but safe distance of the nose level of the human being. So if we know the designated purpose, it is capable for us, it is easier for us to make the structure, estimate the load which is coming on it and make the structure capable to withstand this kind of loads and also make it capable so that the structure can transfer this load safely to its supporting medium. Herein, one thing is to be noted. I have not mentioned the supporting soil, but we have mentioned the supporting medium. So why we have done so? If we consider an aeroplane, it is not supported on the soil, but it is maintaining an equilibrium with the surrounding air. A submarine, which is a marine structure, is maintaining or transferring the load to the sea water surrounded by it. Offshore structure like oil rig transferring the load to the seawater as well as to the soil of the seabed. So the next definition that we want to know, what is analysis of structure then? While doing the analysis, we want to find out the load response behavior of the structure. What is load response? Load response is we want to find out the stress resultant generated due to the response, that is the deformation of the structure, and the amount of slope and deflection caused in the structure due to it. This specific model that is shown in the screen is done by our students of Techno International Newtown using a software StatPro which is marketed by Bentley System. Restraint. It is a very basic definition that we want to know. What is restraint? Restraint is a physical obligation offered to the structure to resist its free movement within the medium. Herein, we have shown a picture where a girl, Jenny, is wanting to restrain this girl, Tina, within the classroom, while Tina is wanting to move outside the classroom. But Jenny is offering a physical obligation to restrain her within the classroom. What is support then? Support is nothing but a combination of some restraint. Let us take some example to have an explanation of these two definitions. Let us consider this support, which we used to call as hinge support. In hinge, we will see the translational movement and the transverse movement, that is the horizontal movement and the vertical movement, is being restrained. That is, it does not allow horizontal and vertical movement, but the rotational movement is allowed in the structure or the support which is known as hinge. So we can say that this is the restraint which is offering the structure. One thing is very much important to be noted. While a support is offering a restraint to the structure to a specific direction, that means here in that direction it is offering a reaction to the structure. That is, while Jenny is trying to restrain Tina within the class, that means she is offering a restraint or a reactive force to Tina to restrain her within the classroom. So we may say the restraint offers a reaction in that direction. And here the number of possible reactive components in hinge support is 2, or we may say degree of restraints are 2. And number of possible displacement is number 1 is the rotational displacement, and we may say degree of freedom is 1. Let's go for more support. We can see two supports here. Let us first discuss with the first one, the top one. This is a roller support. Herein, we will see the translational movement and the rotational movement is allowed in this support. But the transverse movement or the movement in the direction of the vertical direction is being restrained. So we may say there is one reaction in the vertical direction, and number of possible reactive component is 1. That is, degree of restraint is equals to 1 for this kind of support, and degree of freedom is equals to 2. One thing is to be noted here, which is very important for this definition, is we are mentioning possible reactive component. Why this possible word is being mentioned here? Because we are not considering any load, external load, but we are considering that what may generate under any kind of load that may act in the structure and what restraint will be offered by this type of supports. Let us come to fixed support, and we will see in the fixed support all the possible movement in vertical, horizontal and rotational direction being restrained. So we will see the number of possible reactive components are 3 and possible displacements are 0. So the degree of restraint is 3 and degree of freedom is 0. In planar structure, two-dimensional structure, the addition of number of possible reactive component and possible displacement, that is the summation of degree of restraint and degree of freedom, should be equals to 3 always. Let us come to another type of support which is known as guided roller. Here we will see vertical and rotational displacements are restrained, but the horizontal displacement or the translational displacements are allowed. So here the number of possible reactive components are 2 and degree of freedom is 1. So from this we can see the type of the support which is generally used in the structure. There are some hybrid joints wherein we will see there are some releases which is offered within the structural member for some specific reasons. First one is moment release. We also used to term it as internal hinge. Here the moment within this structure, by offering this internal hinge, the moment is being released. Shear release is another type of hybrid joint that offers the release of shear forces which is in tangential direction with the structural member. Here, one point is to be noted. The shear force is always in tangential direction with the member. We will discuss in detail about this matter in the consequent lectures of SFBM. Here, another type of release can be offered, which is an axial force release. This offers the release of force in axial direction, in this direction, or in vice versa. Either it is in compressive or in tensile direction. So these are the different types of joints or supports that can be offered or that can be provided within the structure. Let us now discuss on a very important matter which is known as indeterminacy. What is indeterminacy? Indeterminacy is a configuration, or we may say it is a situation due to which the structure could not be solved by using the equations of the statics or compatibility only. So if we see what is indeterminacy, we will see there are two kinds of indeterminacy in a structure. One is static indeterminacy, another is kinematic indeterminacy. So this module, we will specifically discuss on static indeterminacy. In the following module, that is the introductory lecture part 1, we will discuss on kinematic indeterminacy. Say, what is static indeterminacy? Statically indeterminate structure, we may say hyperstatic structure, is a structure which cannot be solved by using the equation of static equilibrium, or the internal forces cannot be determined by using the equation of statics only, because the numbers of possible unknown reactive components is greater than the numbers of equation of statics. By the way, we can say here that there are three numbers of equations of statics. Number one is summation of vertical forces equals to 0. Number two is summation of horizontal forces equals to 0. Number three is summation of moments is equals to 0. What is kinematic indeterminacy then? When the number of unknown displacement is greater than the number of compatibility equation, we may say the structure is kinematically indeterminate, or we may say the kinematic indeterminacy occurs. Static indeterminacy, let us see any subdivision is there? Yes, there are some two subdivisions. We may say static indeterminacy consists of two types. Internal indeterminacy, we say it II, which is related to independent unknown member forces, and external indeterminacy, which is related to independent unknown reactive components. So we have subdivided a structure into two different parts, or for ease of the discussion, we have subdivided it. Actually, it is inherent part of a structure. The member, which is an internal structure, and the supports, which is an external structure. And if we have such numbers of member forces occurring in a joint or within the structure itself, that it cannot be solved with using the equation of static, we will say that internal indeterminacy is occurring. And external indeterminacy, which is also termed as EI, is if the unknown reactive components is becoming higher than the number of equation of statics, we say that it is not possible to solve the structure by using the equations of statics only. And we say external indeterminacy is occurring. So mathematically, we may say total indeterminacy Ti is equals to internal indeterminacy II plus external indeterminacy EI. There are three types of member forces generally occurs within the structure. Number one is axial force. Number two is shear force. Number three is the moment or flexure. Example of statical indeterminacy. Let us try with the beam first. Cantilever beam, the most simplest structure. We have fixed support, that means we have three restraints and there will be corresponding reactive components, vertical, horizontal and the moment, because it is restrained against vertical movement, horizontal movement and rotational movement. That means it should have three reactive component at fixed support, and another end is free, so there is no such reactive component as it is having 3 degrees of freedom in free end. Now, internal indeterminacy, we will first calculate II. Possible independent member forces are 3. We have just seen here. And there are 3 equations of statics. If we subtract it, we will get 0. So we may say it is internal indeterminate. External indeterminacy, we will see there are 3 possible independent reactive component. Here also we are mentioning independent reactive component because we are never considering a load over it. That means we are considering for each and every type of load that may occur during the operational period of this structure. So number of equations of statics are 3. If I subtract it, we are getting external indeterminacy equals to 0. So total indeterminacy Ti is equals to 0. So we may say this structure is statically determinate. Now we are considering a simply supported structure which is having a hinge end at left side and a fixed end, a roller end at the right side. So we know hinge has 2 degree of restraints. So we will offer 2 reactive component and the roller will offer 1 reactive component and as it have 1 degree of restraint. Internal indeterminacy will again boil down to 0 because there is a single member and also equation of statics is equals to 3. We will see the external indeterminacy, possible independent reactive components are 3 and equation of statics are 3. So again we will see external indeterminacy is again coming as 0. So the total indeterminacy is equals to 0. And we may say again as this structure is statically determinate. Coming on next to our overhanged beam, wherein we will see that there is a part which is overhanged beyond the support. There is a hinge and a roller support. We know in hinge support there will be 2 reactive components and in roller we have 1 reactive component. So there are 3 reactions in this structure. Internal indeterminacy is 3 into 2 because there are 2 members. Each and every member there will be 3 equations of statics. So equation of statics is also 6 in this structure. So internal indeterminacy is equals to 0 and external indeterminacy again is equals to 0. And we may say this structure is also a statically determinate structure. Now let us consider a fixed beam. A fixed beam which is consisting of 2 fixed support at both the ends. Now we know there are 3 restraints in fixed ends. So it will offer 3 different reactive components. So we may say internal indeterminacy equals to 0 because the possible independent member forces equals to 3 and equation of statics is equals to 3. The external indeterminacy we will calculate likewise. The possible independent reactive components are 6. Equation of statics is equals to 6. Now we may say the total indeterminacy is equals to say external indeterminacy equals to 6 minus 3 equals to 3. So total indeterminacy is 0 plus 3 is equals to 3. So we may say this structure is statically indeterminate and the degree of statical indeterminacy is equals to 3. But if we used to see that in a beam the axial force is generally negligible, and if we then ignore the axial deformation of the member in case of beam, because it is very negligible compared to shear and bending, we will see one of this reaction may not be have an independent value, or we may say these two value will be equal and it is not independent unknown. In that case, if axial deformation, please note it, if axial deformation of the member is ignored, then the external indeterminacy will be calculated. Likewise, possible independent reactive component will come down to 5 and the external indeterminacy will come down to 2 and the total indeterminacy will be equals to 2. So we may say the structure is statically indeterminate by degree 2, or we may say degree of statical indeterminacy DOI is equals to 2. Let us consider a continuous beam now, which is consisting of these types of support, and we know now what are the kinds of reactive components that may be offered by these supports. And here we can see the internal indeterminacy is coming as again equals to 0 because there are two members and 6 numbers of possible member forces may be there, and equation of statics will be again equals to 6. So the internal indeterminacy of the beam is equals to 0. So calculating the external indeterminacy, we will have first calculated the possible independent reactive components is equals to 4. Equation of statics is equals to 3, and subtracting it we are getting 1. So external indeterminacy equals to 1, and we may say total indeterminacy is equals to 1. So this structure is statically indeterminate by degree 1, or we may say DOI is equals to 1. Let us now consider a propped cantilever. We know in fixed support there are 3 reactive components, and in hinge support there will be 2 reactive components. Herein what we have done, again we have ignored the horizontal extension because the axial force generated in the beam is very negligible in compared to the shear force and bending moment. Again we will see the internal indeterminacy possible in the beam will be equals to 0. The external indeterminacy will be calculated. Likewise, the possible independent reactive components are 4. Equation of statics is equals to 3, and we have subtracted it and get 1. So the total indeterminacy is equals to 1, and we may say this structure is statically indeterminate by degree 1. Now let us consider a propped cantilever with a hybrid joint. We may say this as a internal hinge, which is considered herein to show what occurs if we are considering an internal hinge. So we know that what are the different kinds of reaction that may generate from the previous problem itself, but there is a specific type of joint which has released a moment within the member. So we may say internal indeterminacy of the member is coming equals to 0, and the external indeterminacy of the structure is coming as the possible independent reactive components is equals to 4. Equation of statics is equals to 3. So subtracting these two, we will get the structure is indeterminate by degree 1, but there is a release within the member to this hybrid joint. So we will subtract that one. So the total indeterminacy is coming as 0. So we may say this propped cantilever, which is provided with the internal hinge, is a statically determinate structure, or DOI is equals to 0. Now let us consider a simply supported beam with same kind of hybrid support at the center. We know that there will be 2 restraints and thereby 2 reactive components in the hinge end and 1 reactive component within the roller. Internal indeterminacy again coming as 0. External indeterminacy we have calculated like this. Possible reactive components is 3. Equation of statics is equals to 3. So 3 minus 3 is equals to 0. So here external indeterminacy is also equals to 0. Due to internal hinge, one release of moment is there. So the total indeterminacy will come as -1 here. What will occur what stands for, what signifies by this -1? Does it giving any information to us, or it is just a number? Dear observer, here you will see no number in structural analysis is only a number itself, but it always gives us information with its value and as well as with its symbol. Here you will see, if I put a vertical load here, it will fall down like this by causing a unlimited rotation, which is possible in the hinge and roller joint, and a rotation will occur in the internal hinge and the structure will have a total collapse, and thus we may say this structure is unstable. So we may say, if the total indeterminacy of the structure is negative, we may say the structure is unstable. Let us now consider a simply supported beam with two rollers. We know there will be two reactive components. Internal indeterminacy is equals to 0. External indeterminacy is calculated likewise. Possible independent reactive component is equals to 2. Equation of statics is equals to 3. So we may see the external indeterminacy is equals to -1, and thus the total indeterminacy again is equals to -1. Now see how it is failing, or how it can be said that it is unstable structure. Under the application of horizontal load, it may roll, and it is not at all a structure. These two may be termed as mechanism and is termed as unstable structure. Let us draw some calculation from this discussion. We have discussed the numbers of beam. So the conclusions are: number one, internal indeterminacy of a beam is always 0. And we have seen here the beam is always internally determinate. Number two is axial deformation of the beam may be ignored unless mentioned otherwise. If it is mentioned that we have to consider the axial deformation, otherwise we may ignore, because the axial deformation of the beam is very much negligible. Number three, a beam turns to an unstable structure if the total indeterminacy is negative. Number four, higher the indeterminacy of the structure, higher is the stability potential. It is very, very much important. We may say that statically indeterminate structure makes our job more difficult. It makes a difficult job for a structural engineer, because we have to generate more numbers of equation and to solve more numbers of equation over the equations of statics. It's okay, but for a structure to make it more safer, it is preferred to have a statically indeterminate structure. Herein we have seen that if it is negative, it fails due to a mechanism. Now let us come into another type of structure, which is known as truss. What is the definition of truss? Truss is a pin jointed structure subjected to axial force only. This is a type of trusses that we use in roof. It can be used in a bridge also. So all these joints that is shown in this figure is, it may be considered as a pin joint while analyzing the structure. All the joints can be considered as a pin joint. What is pin joint? Is a type of joint which is allowing the rotational deformation. Herein we have seen from the definition a structural member, which is these members, is only subjected to axial load. Either it will be under axial compression or under axial tension. Let us come to the discussion of indeterminacy in this type of structure. Here again we will see total indeterminacy equals to internal indeterminacy plus external indeterminacy. Let us see internal indeterminacy is coming from the member force, And external indeterminacy is coming from the reactive component. This is for your recapitulation. Total indeterminacy, likewise we are calculating M, the member forces. This is number of member forces. In each and every member, we have only one member force, because we know either it will be under axial compression or it will be under axial tension. Reactive components, how many numbers of reactions are there, and 2J. J is numbers of joint. I have defined it here, but it is multiplied by 2 here. You see why? Because each and every joint we have two equations of statics. Summation of vertical forces equals to 0 and summation of moments is horizontal forces equals to 0. I repeat, we have two equation statics in every joints of truss. Summation of vertical forces equals to 0 and summation of horizontal forces equals to 0. These two. But why we have not considered summation of moments is equals to 0? Because it implies that it will be equals to 0 and it will not give an equation, because we have already considered the joints are pin jointed. The joints are pinned because it is allowing rotation. So we have two equations in each and every joints of truss. Let us take an example. If this is a truss, these are the joints, and where we will have only two forces, two types of forces. It may be a tension or a compression under the external load, and herein we will solve this member either by considering the summation of vertical forces equals to 0 or the summation of horizontal forces is equals to 0. So let us come to examples. Oh, the external indeterminacy is equals to R minus 3. So reaction minus 3 numbers of equations of statics, and internal indeterminacy is equals to total indeterminacy minus external indeterminacy. Let us come to the example here now. Let us consider this truss first, the top one. This is a truss which is having a hinge support at left end and a roller support at the right end. So there are members, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 members. So M is equals to 9, and there are 3 supports, and we will see there are 6 joints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So R is equals to 3 and J is equals to 6. Let us put total indeterminacy M plus R minus 2J is coming as 0 here. So we may say total indeterminacy is equals to 0. And external indeterminacy is equals to 3 minus 3. 3 is reaction and last 3 is the numbers of equation of statics. So it is also 0. And internal indeterminacy is also equals to 0, and now we may say the truss is statically indeterminate. One may say, while we have calculated total indeterminacy equals to 0, so we may conclude that the truss is statically determinate. What is use of calculating external indeterminacy and internal indeterminacy? So I am coming to that problem bit later. I am saying in this stage that individually it had to be calculated to check the stability of the structure. Let us come to the second problem, wherein we will see the same truss is provided with two hinge supports at two ends. So we know there are 9 numbers of members. There will be 4 reactive components. There are 6 joints as it was in case of previous, but there is additional reactive component here because this right support is now considered as hinge. So we will say M equals to 9, R equals to 4 and J is equals to 6. So M plus R minus 2J is coming as 1. So we have calculated the EI. R minus 3 is coming as 1 and II is coming as 0. So it is internally determinate, externally indeterminate, and total indeterminacy is 1. So we may say the truss is statically indeterminate by degree 1. Herein, we will see that to solve this structure, we have to make a tactics or to have some mean so that the external structure or the reaction could be calculated by some mean because it is exceeding the numbers of statics. Let us consider this truss now. We have two in support here, so there will be four reactive components. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers of members, and there are 4 numbers of joints. So let us say M is equals to 6, R is equals to 4, and J is equals to 4. Total indeterminacy M plus R minus 2J is coming as 2. External indeterminacy 4 minus 3 is equals to 1, and internal indeterminacy is equals to 1. So we can say this structure is statically indeterminate by degree 2, wherein there is external indeterminacy of degree 1 and internal indeterminacy of degree 1. Let us see the structure. Herein we will see it is not only impossible to solve the structural reaction by using the equation of statics only, but also all the member joints wherein we have only two equation of statics, there are three numbers of members. So it is not possible to start the solve of the structure either by taking any tactics to resolve the issue of extra structural support and member in the joints. What are the tactics that will come on the later on the subsequent lectures? Let us now consider this structure, the top one, the truss that we have used, but it is provided with two roller supports. Let us see what happens. There are two reactive components. So we know AM is equals to 6 as we have seen from the top, 6, R is equals to 2 and J is equals to 4. So M plus R minus 2J is coming as 0. So from seeing this, we may say this structure is statically determinate. But let us see what external and internal indeterminacy is saying to us. External indeterminacy is saying that it is externally indeterminate by minus 1. So here again we are getting a negative sign, and we may say internal indeterminacy will be always having a number. So 0 minus 1 will be minus 1, but we may say from this calculation that the truss is unstable. Though the total indeterminacy is not reflecting the instability, but the external indeterminacy calculation is showing that we have only two numbers of reactive component under a horizontal load. It will roll out and it cannot be defined as a structure, but it is a mechanism. Let us now calculate this truss, wherein we will see there are four reactive components. M is equals to 4 because there are four members, and R is equals to 4, four reactive components, and J is equals to 4. Total indeterminacy M plus R minus 2J is coming as again 0. So we will say from this we may say the structure is statically determinate. But external indeterminacy is showing us that it is also statically indeterminate by degree 1. But internal indeterminacy is coming as minus 1. So it is showing the instability. How it is unstable? If you put a horizontal load on it, it may fail due to rotational movement, or we may say panel mechanism. So this truss is unstable. The conclusion: internal indeterminacy of the truss is not always is equals to 0 as it was in case of beam. Axial deformation of the truss cannot be ignored because there is only axial deformation in the truss, whereas we have considered, if not otherwise mentioned, we may consider the axial deformation of the beam is equals to 0. A truss turns to an unstable structure if any of the indeterminacy, either external or internal or total, is a negative one. So we have to check all the indeterminacy to declare the truss as a safe structure. And higher the indeterminacy of the truss, higher will be the stability potential. So it is common as in case of beam. Let us now come to rigid joint frame. This is a rigid jointed frame always with a support. What is rigid joint? You know, rigid joint are those where the angle between the member remains unchanged in deformed state. So let us see, if we put a load and it deforms like this, the mutual angle which was between the member in undeformed state will remain same in the deformed state, and then we will say the structure or the frame is a rigid jointed frame, where in case of truss we will see it as it is pinned, it will deform and the mutual angle between the members of the frame changes in deformed state, and we used to say that truss as a pin jointed frame, but this is a rigid jointed frame. In a rigid jointed frame, herein we will try to calculate the statical indeterminacy provided with two fixed ends. We know every fixed ends have three numbers of restraints, thereby have three numbers of reactive components. Internal indeterminacy of the frame members is always equals to 0. So we will calculate the external indeterminacy to calculate the total indeterminacy, or we may say statical indeterminacy of the frame. Herein we will see the external indeterminacy is equals to r minus 3, that is 6 minus 3 is equals to 3. So the frame can be said as a statically indeterminate frame which is having degree of statical indeterminacy 3, or the frame is having a 3 degree of statical indeterminacy. So here let us discuss about a fact that if we consider this as a closed box, or sometimes it is also termed as a ring, we will see for a closed box or a closed ring there are 3 degree of statical indeterminacy always. So we will apply these postulates in our next subsequent problems. Let us consider a multi-storage multi-bay portal, where we will see that these are the bays, these passage are the bay, and this rigid jointed frame, we used to say this as a portal. Portal means a gateway or a passage. Here it is looking like a passage or a door, so it is known as a portal frame, and this horizontal distance is known as bay or a passage, and the vertical stages or the vertical floors are known as storage. This is known as storage. Here to here. This is two storage, two bay portal frame, and we can see here the different kinds of support that we have provided to here in the frame. So to solve this structure, we will see what we have to do. First of all, we will try to remove this specific type of support, and in turn of this we will put a fixed support on it. Now, how many numbers of closed box are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers of closed boxes. So number of closed boxes are 4. So statical indeterminacy considering all the support are fixed is 12, but it is not at all a fixed support. So we will put back the typical type of support there. So how many numbers of releases are there? For the hinge there is 1 release, so we have to subtract that, and for the roller there will be 2 releases. As we know, roller have 2 degrees of freedom, so we have subtracted 1 and 2 from the 12, and we get actual indeterminacy is equals to 9, so that we may say this portal is statically indeterminate by degree 9. So let us take a formulation, form a specific mathematical form. Statical indeterminacy equals to 3 into numbers of closed boxes minus the number of releases as per the actual support condition. If I symbolize this, SI is equals to 3CB closed box minus RL, that is release in the reaction. So this is the formulation that we have obtained. Let us come to the next problem, wherein all the supports are fixed, but which is provided with some hybrid joints. So we have 4 numbers of closed boxes. So 4 into 3 will give you 12, but no releases at the supports are there. So this there is no question of subtracting any release from this 12, but there are some hybrid joints, and for the hybrid joints we have to subtract the release. Say now, how many numbers of release to be subtracted? Say in the hybrid joint, as it is shown here, in this joint there are 2 members, so the number of release will be 1. In this joint there are 4 members, the number of release will be 3. So we have mentioned here number of members at joint minus 1. So it will be, first case will be 4 minus 1, second case will be 2 minus 1. So it will be 3 and this will be 1. So total is 4. So we have to subtract 4 and we'll get the actual statical indeterminacy is equals to 8. So we may say this structure is statically indeterminate by degree 8. So now we are reforming our previous formulation, 3 into number of closed boxes minus number of releases as per the actual support condition minus release due to the hybrid joints. So it is formulated like this: SI is equals to 3 into CB minus RL minus RH, reaction release due to hybrid joints. Let us consider this complicated portal frame. We have to calculate the statical indeterminacy. In GATE examination, these type of complicated structure are often used to given for solving. So let us consider this as a part. Let us see the tactics. This part, that is this L-shaped post, is a statically determinate structure. You may see it is a cantilever frame. So let us first of all subtract it, because it will not give any contribution to statical indeterminacy. Let us now hypotheticate this structure or this support, hinge, roller and guided roller, with a fixed support. Numbers of closed boxes are 7 here. So we may say statical indeterminacy considering all supports as fixed is 21. Now let us consider the releases. For hinge it will be 1 release, for roller it is 2, for guided roller there will be 1, so total 4 releases are there. So we will have to subtract 4, but there is a hybrid joint here itself also. So there are 4 members in this hybrid joint, so it will be 3 release for this. So we have to subtract 7, total 7, because 21 minus 4 for the support condition and 3 for hybrid joints. So the actual statical indeterminacy for this type of structure, considering that previous one, that is the support at here, which is a L-shaped cantilever post provided with a fixed end here, will be also will be of degree 14. The structural statical indeterminacy will be 14. So the conclusion: for statically indeterminate structure, extra equation in addition to the equation of statics is needed. We have to form some statical other equation of compatibility or equilibrium to form this. The number of extra equation is equal to degree of statical indeterminacy. And structure like beam or rigid jointed frame, internal indeterminacy is always is equals to 0, but therefore total indeterminacy is always depends on the external indeterminacy. We used to calculate this by external indeterminacy itself, but we have explained this today's lecture why it is considered as 0. Internal indeterminacy is considered as 0 in case of beam and frames. always. For pin jointed frame or truss member, internal indeterminacy is not always equals to 0. And higher the statical indeterminacy, safer is the structure against instability. So with this, we have come to the end of this today's lecture. Please feel free to put any suggestion or question in my comment box. Thanks a lot, you. And don't forget to put the likes if you have liked it. And please subscribe my channel for subsequent lecture because we are going to upload the second part wherein we are going to get an example how to calculate the indeterminacy related to kinematics or kinematic indeterminacy of structure. Thanks a lot.